Welcome back to Aim High, your daily source of inspiration, motivation, and life-transforming stories. I'm Raphael.
And I'm Maya. Today we're diving into a story that has quietly shaped millions of lives. Though many don't even realize it, the story of change, comfort, and the maze we all navigate.
Exactly. This isn't a quick pep talk. This is a journey. A journey into how we react when the very things we rely on disappear without warning. How do you respond when your cheese is moved?
Whether it's your job, your relationship, your daily routine, or your sense of security, change comes, often uninvited and unexpected. Over the next 5 parts, we'll explore how change controls us, how it challenges us, and how we can master it.
Today, we start with the most deceptive trap of all: comfort. Comfort sounds good, doesn't it? A soft place to land, a familiar routine, the safety of the known.
It does, but comfort often disguises itself as a cage.
Exactly. People get stuck in jobs they dislike not because they enjoy the work, but because the discomfort of the unknown seems worse than the dissatisfaction.
People stay in relationships that drain their energy not because they love them, but because the fear of loneliness feels more painful.
Comfort whispers to us, stay a little longer. Things might get better. It convinces us that predictability equals safety.
But here's the hard truth. Comfort is not safety, it's familiarity. And familiarity can be the prison that keeps us from growth.
Let's step back and imagine something: a maze.
Not the kind of maze you find in a puzzle book or a cornfield, a maze that represents life itself.
The twists, the turns, the dead ends, they all represent the choices, challenges, and obstacles we face every day.
Every step forward or backward leads us down a different path.
Within that maze, there is one thing everyone is searching for.
Cheese.
Cheese is more than a piece of dairy.
It's a metaphor for what we want in life.
Success.
Security.
Love.
Comfort.
Recognition.
Purpose.
Whatever gives meaning to your life, that's your cheese. In this maze live 4 characters, or maybe 4 parts of ourselves.
Each represents a way we react to change.
First, there's Sniff, who senses change early, sniffing it out before it happens.
Then Scurry, who takes immediate action, moving quickly to adapt.
Him who resists change, refusing to accept that things are different.
And Ha, who fears change but learns to adapt over time.
When the cheese is plentiful, the characters settle. Life feels safe.
But that safety breeds complacency.
Curiosity fades.
Growth slows.
And the maze begins to close in.
One day, the cheese is gone.
No warning.
No explanation.
Just empty space.
And that emptiness forces a choice.
Do you stay stuck in denial, hoping things will return to how they were?
Or do you venture into the unknown, seeking new cheese?
Sniff and Scurry move immediately. They don't waste time.
Hem freezes afraid, angry, and resistant.
Ha hesitates, fearful but willing to learn.
As you listen, ask yourself, which character are you?
Are you the early sensor, the swift mover, the fearful resistor, or the reluctant adapter?
You know, Raphael, I've seen so many people get stuck as Hem does. They cling tightly to what they know, even when it's clearly not working.
Absolutely, Maya. I think that resistance to change is often rooted in fear, the fear of the unknown. Fear that stepping out will lead to failure, loneliness, or disappointment.
And ironically, that fear can keep people trapped in pain far worse than any discomfort change might bring.
Right. I remember a close friend of mine, Sarah. She stayed in a job she hated for nearly a decade because she feared the uncertainty of leaving. Her routine was her cheese.
That's a classic case of comfort becoming a cage.
Exactly. One day, the company downsized and Sarah was let go unexpectedly. It was devastating initially. She was like him, frozen, angry, confused.
But then she became Ha. She started small, applying for jobs, learning new skills, embracing the maze instead of fearing it.
And here's the truth: that leap into uncertainty opened doors she never imagined. Better jobs, new passions, a whole new version of herself.
That's the power of embracing change.
Sometimes, the cheese hasn't disappeared. It's just moved.
Or maybe it was never yours to begin with.
We get so attached to ideas, the job for life, the perfect relationship, the safe path, that when things change, it feels like a loss.
But what if it's actually an invitation?
An invitation to grow, to explore, to find better cheese.
And the maze, it's not just a metaphor, it represents life's complexity.
It's messy, full of twists and turns.
And sometimes, the walls close in.
But the maze also offers possibilities.
Paths you wouldn't have taken otherwise.
Attitude plays a massive role. Two people face the same change, but respond completely differently.
One sees a crisis, the other sees opportunity.
It's a mindset shift.
So how do you recognize your cheese?
Ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What gives me comfort but maybe no longer serves me?
Is it a job? A relationship? A belief about who you are?
Pause for a moment. Think about your life maze. Where is your cheese?
And be honest, is it fresh and nourishing or stale and trapping?
Let me tell you about a man named James.
James was stuck in a career that paid the bills but drained his soul.
He felt trapped but terrified to leave. Then, his company shut down.
At first, James was angry like him.
But then, slowly, he started exploring, taking courses, meeting new people, exploring new corridors in the maze.
James found a new passion coaching others through change.
Today, he helps people find their cheese.
So far, we've learned that comfort can trap us.
Change is inevitable.
Raphael, one of the biggest tools we can use when facing change is mindfulness, being present, noticing our feelings without judgment.
Absolutely, Maya. Too often, we let our emotions control us: fear, anger, frustration. But mindfulness helps us step back and see clearly.
When the cheese disappears, mindfulness allows us to pause instead of panic.
It's like turning on a light in the maze. Suddenly, we see options we didn't before.
Simple steps can make a huge difference. Take deep breaths. Notice your physical sensations. Acknowledge your emotions without fighting them.
And when you do this regularly, it builds resilience.
Raphael, flexibility is another crucial ingredient.
Yes. When we're rigid, the maze becomes a trap. When we're flexible, it becomes a playground of possibilities.
We learn to bend, to pivot, to find new routes.
Alex was an entrepreneur whose business collapsed overnight. He felt like his cheese was stolen.
He could have given up.
But instead, Alex practiced mindfulness and flexibility. He listened to customers, adapted his business model, and found new cheese.
Today, Alex runs a thriving company in a completely different industry.
Denial is a dangerous place to be.
It's Hem's territory.
Refusing to accept that the cheese is gone only prolongs suffering.
Denial keeps us stuck, frustrated, and disconnected from reality.
Change always comes with uncertainty.
But uncertainty isn't the enemy, it's an invitation.
An invitation to discover who we really are.
Courage isn't the absence of fear.
It's taking action despite fear.
When Haw steps into the maze, he's scared, but he moves anyway.
You don't have to find new cheese in a single leap.
Start with small steps.
Explore a new hobby. Connect with new people. Learn something new.
Lisa lost her job during an economic downturn.
She was scared, but started volunteering locally.
That led to new skills, confidence, and eventually a better job.
We're not meant to navigate the maze alone.
Community, mentors, friends, they help us stay on track.
Reach out regularly.
Join groups aligned with your goals.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. No step is too small. Action beats fear every time.
We explored the comfort trap, the maze of life, and how change challenges us.
We met 4 characters who represent our reactions to change.
We learned that fear and denial keep us stuck.
And that mindfulness, flexibility, courage, and support help us move forward.
So, as we reflect on where we are now in this maze, it's clear that the path forward isn't about finding easy answers. It's about embracing the uncertainty, facing the discomfort, and choosing to keep moving.
Because in the maze of life, the cheese isn't just about what we want, it's about who we become while we search for it.
Exactly. And sometimes, the journey through the maze teaches us far more than the cheese ever could.
That's the thing most people miss. It's not just about the cheese itself, but the lessons and growth we gain from pursuing it.
Right. Every twist, every dead end, every surprise in the maze is an opportunity to learn something new about ourselves.
And to build resilience, patience, and courage qualities that no static cheese can ever give us.
Let's dive deeper into those qualities, starting with resilience. How do you see resilience playing a role when the cheese moves?
Resilience is like a muscle. The more you stretch it, the stronger it gets. When the cheese disappears, it forces us to build that muscle to bounce back, to keep going despite setbacks.
And it's not just about enduring, it's about growing through the experience.
Exactly. Instead of breaking down under pressure, resilient people transform pressure into power.
That's where mindset matters most. It's easy to feel like a victim when things change suddenly, but choosing a growth mindset shifts everything.
It's about seeing challenges as chances to expand, to explore new parts of the maze that were invisible before. I love that transforming pressure into power. It's a choice, really, and often a hard one.
Yeah, it's not automatic. We have to train ourselves to look at change differently.
One thing that helps is remembering that change itself isn't the enemy. It's our resistance to change that causes most of the pain.
Exactly. If we can accept change as a natural part of life, like the seasons or the tides, it becomes less scary.
That reminds me of a story I heard recently about a woman named Rachel.
Tell me.
Rachel lost her home in a flood. Everything she knew was swept away in a night.
That's devastating.
It was. But instead of giving up, she chose to see it as a new beginning. She joined a community rebuilding effort and found a new passion for helping others through trauma.
So her cheese disappeared, but she found a different kind of cheese.
Exactly. And that's the kind of resilience we're talking about.
What's amazing is how that mindset changes the whole experience of the maze.
When you embrace change, even the maze starts to feel like a playground instead of a prison.
Yes, it becomes less about fear and more about curiosity.
And curiosity opens doors we didn't even know existed.
Let's talk about practical ways people can start shifting their mindset today.
Absolutely. First step, start noticing your thoughts about change. Are you telling yourself stories of fear and loss, or stories of opportunity and growth?
Journaling helps. Writing down your fears and then challenging them with facts or positive outcomes.
Also, talking with others who have navigated change successfully can shift your perspective.
Community is key. Knowing you're not alone makes all the difference.
And don't forget small wins. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how tiny.
Those small wins build momentum.
Momentum turns into motivation. Motivation into action.
And action is the only antidote to fear.
So true. What about setbacks? They're inevitable, right?
Absolutely. But setbacks don't mean failure.
They're just part of the maze's twists and turns.
How we respond to setbacks with frustration or with curiosity shapes our path.
It's like when Haw hesitates, but eventually decides to move forward despite fear.
Haw's story reminds us that courage is not about being fearless, but acting in spite of fear.
So, if you're feeling stuck or scared right now, that's okay.
It's normal. The key is not to stay stuck.
Keep moving, keep exploring, keep searching for new cheese.
Because in this maze, your growth depends on your willingness to keep going.
And sometimes, the most valuable cheese is the growth itself. Growth is the real cheese. That's powerful. It shifts the focus from just getting something to becoming someone.
Exactly. It's not about the destination, but the transformation along the way.
And transformation requires patience. Sometimes we want instant change, but growth takes time.
Right. The maze isn't a sprint. It's a marathon filled with lessons.
What helps me is reminding myself that every wrong turn teaches me what not to do next time.
That's a game changer. When you reframe mistakes as clues, fear loses its grip.
It turns fear into curiosity. What can I learn here?
Yes, and curiosity breeds hope. Hope that there's new cheese waiting somewhere ahead.
Hope fuels resilience too.
Totally. And it keeps us moving when the path seems darkest.
Let's talk about fear. It's the biggest obstacle most people face.
Fear can paralyze us or propel us. It depends on how we use it.
Like a warning sign, fear tells us something important is happening.
Exactly. It signals growth, change, and stepping into the unknown.
But many people run from fear because it's uncomfortable.
And that's where the maze traps a lot of us.
So how do we stop running?
The first step is acknowledging fear without letting it control us.
Mindfulness comes in here again, noticing the fear, naming it, but not letting it dictate your actions.
And then using that energy to fuel forward movement.
Like a fire, it can either burn you down or light your way.
Exactly. Channel fear into motivation.
Let's share some practical exercises people can try to face their fears.
One technique I recommend is visualization.
Imagine yourself moving past fear and finding your new cheese.
Picture the success, the relief, the growth on the other side.
It rewires your brain to associate fear with possibility instead of danger.
Another tool is journaling, writing down what scares you, and then challenging those fears.
Ask yourself, how likely is this fear to come true? What can I do if it does?
Breaking fear down into manageable parts reduces its power.
Exactly. It turns the monster under the bed into a shadow.
Small steps toward new cheese make the journey less overwhelming.
Even a tiny action like sending one email, making one call counts.
Momentum builds from those small victories.
And every victory reinforces your courage.
Creating a positive feedback loop.
It's a muscle you can strengthen every day.
Now, let's talk about flexibility. Again, it's often overlooked but vital.
When you're flexible, you can pivot, change direction, and adapt without breaking.
That agility makes the maze less intimidating.
It turns obstacles into opportunities.
Like water flowing around rocks.
Exactly, it finds the path of least resistance but keeps moving forward.
And in life's maze, sometimes the path isn't straight. It's winding and unpredictable.
That's where mindset matters most.
Embracing the twists instead of resisting them.
Seeing uncertainty as part of the adventure.
That's the key to staying motivated through change.
And to finding new cheese you never imagined. Embracing uncertainty, that's easier said than done, though. So many people crave certainty because it feels safe.
True. But ironically, the more we cling to certainty, the more trapped we become when things inevitably change.
Exactly. Safety and comfort is an illusion.
The maze itself is unpredictable. The sooner we accept that, the sooner we free ourselves.
Let me share a story about a man named Daniel.
Go on.
Daniel was a successful business owner. When the market shifted, his main product became obsolete overnight.
That must have been terrifying.
It was. At first, he resisted, hoping things would bounce back. But when they didn't, he realized flexibility was his only option.
What did he do?
He pivoted his business model completely. He learned new skills, explored different markets, and eventually created a thriving new venture.
That's a perfect example of flexibility in action.
Yes, and his story reminds us that sometimes the maze pushes us out of our comfort zone to force growth.
Growth that wouldn't happen if the cheese stayed put.
Exactly. Flexibility is the mindset that lets us turn obstacles into stepping stones.
Let's get practical. How can people develop flexibility?
First, practice curiosity. When you face a change, instead of shutting down, ask yourself, what can I learn here?
Second, experiment with small changes in daily life. Try new routines, explore new hobbies, build comfort with the unfamiliar.
Third, stay open to feedback and different perspectives. Sometimes the maze looks different depending on where you stand.
And finally, cultivate patience.
Growth and adaptation take time. Trying to force things too fast often backfires.
Flexibility is about rhythm, knowing when to push, when to rest, and when to change course.
This reminds me of the phrase, bend, but don't break.
Yes, like a reed in the wind, strong enough to survive storms because it adapts.
It's a powerful metaphor for life and the maze.
And it brings us back to those messages Ha wrote on the wall.
Change happens. Anticipate change. Monitor change. Adapt quickly. Enjoy change. Be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again.
Those aren't just words, they're a mindset to live by.
Living by those messages means embracing a life that's dynamic and full of possibility.
So, when your cheese moves, you're ready not just to survive, but to thrive.
Let's break down enjoy change. That's probably the hardest one for many people.
Absolutely. Enjoying change means finding excitement in uncertainty, seeing it as an adventure instead of a threat.
One exercise I recommend is gratitude journaling. Focus specifically on what change has brought you.
Even small things, new skills learned, new people met, fresh perspectives gained.
It rewires your brain to notice the positives instead of just the losses.
Another great practice is reframing challenges as opportunities for growth.
For example, if you lose a job, instead of seeing it as a setback, view it as a chance to explore new paths.
Maybe start that side hustle you've been dreaming of or learn a skill you never had time for.
It's about shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset.
Growth mindset is huge in overcoming fear and embracing change.
Exactly. Carol Dweck's research shows that people who believe they can grow through effort and learning handle setbacks much better.
And that belief makes all the difference in the maze.
So, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm stuck," or "I can't do this," pause and ask, "What can I learn here?"
That question turns frustration into curiosity.
Curiosity opens the door to new ideas and solutions.
And it keeps you moving forward.
Let's talk about the support network again. It's vital in this process.
Absolutely. No one navigates the maze alone.
Reach out to friends, mentors, or communities who understand your journey.
They can offer perspective, encouragement, and sometimes practical help.
Building that network takes courage too.
Yes, asking for help can feel vulnerable, but it's a strength, not a weakness.
Especially when change makes you feel isolated.
Connection reminds you that you're not alone.
Let me share a story about a man named Sam.
I'm listening.
Sam was going through a tough career change. He felt lost and overwhelmed.
What did he do?
He joined a local group for professionals in transition. The community gave him advice, support, and friendship.
And that made all the difference.
Exactly. Sam found new opportunities through connections he made there.
Proof that support networks can be a lifeline in the maze.
So, a quick checklist for building your support network. Reach out regularly. Join groups aligned with your goals. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Small, consistent efforts build strong connections.
All right, as we near the end of this part, reflect on this. What's one small step you can take today toward new cheese?
Remember, no step is too small. Action beats fear every time.
We've explored the comfort trap, the maze of life, and how change challenges us.
We met 4 characters who represent our reactions to change.
We learned that fear and denial keep us stuck.
And that mindfulness, flexibility, courage, and support help us move forward.
Now that we understand the foundations, fear, mindset, resilience, and support, it's time to look deeper at the biggest barrier most people face: fear itself.
Fear is a powerful force. It can freeze us in place or push us forward, depending on how we handle it.
In the next section, we'll explore practical strategies to transform fear from a roadblock into fuel for growth.
We'll break down how to recognize fear, how to work with it, and how to harness it to find new cheese.
No breaks, no stops, just a continuous journey through the maze together.
Fear can be tricky because it often disguises itself as caution or common sense. It whispers, doubts, and paints worst-case scenarios in vivid detail.
Yeah, like that voice in your head saying, "What if I fail?" Or, "What if this change ruins everything?" It can feel overwhelming.
But here's the thing, fear itself isn't the enemy. It's our relationship with fear that matters. If we learn to listen without letting it control us, it becomes a guide rather than a jailer.
That's where awareness comes in. The moment you notice fear creeping in, you have a choice. Do you let it stop you, or do you acknowledge it and move forward anyway?
Exactly. Let's talk about recognizing fear. It usually shows up as physical sensations: a tight chest, sweaty palms, racing heart.
Or mental patterns like overthinking, procrastination, or avoidance.
Right. Once you can name these signs, you can start to respond differently.
One powerful method is to ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? And then, how would I cope if it did?
This exercise takes the fear out of the unknown and replaces it with preparedness.
And often, the worst-case scenario isn't as bad as our mind makes it out to be.
True. Fear inflates risks and minimizes our ability to cope.
So, the goal isn't to eliminate fear that's impossible, but to build confidence, to act despite fear.
Think of fear like a speed bump. It slows you down but doesn't have to stop you.
And every time you face that speed bump, you build courage muscles.
Which makes the next hurdle easier to jump.
Let's explore some practical strategies to work with fear daily.
One is grounding. When fear feels overwhelming, bring your attention to your senses. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 you can hear.
It anchors you in the present moment, calming your nervous system.
Another is deep breathing, slow inhales and exhales to reduce panic.
And journaling, like we mentioned before, to identify your fears and challenge their truth.
Pair that with positive affirmations reminding yourself of your strengths and past successes.
Remember when Hall wrote on the wall, "Adapt quickly"? That's the mindset.
Adapting quickly means acting in spite of fear, learning as you go.
Because waiting for fear to disappear means waiting forever.
Exactly. Action is the antidote.
Let me share a quick story about a woman named Lisa.
I'm all ears.
Lisa was terrified of public speaking, but a job opportunity required it. Instead of backing down, she took a small step, joining a local speaking club.
Little by little, she practiced, stumbled, improved.
After months, she gave a confident presentation at work, landing a promotion.
Facing fear head-on turned her life around.
Small steps, repeated daily, create momentum.
Momentum that carries you through the maze.
And remember, the maze changes. Your skills and confidence grow too.
Let's talk about the role of curiosity now.
Curiosity turns fear into exploration.
Instead of fearing unknown paths, curious people ask, "What can I discover here?"
That mindset makes even setbacks feel like learning adventures.
Because every wrong turn gives new information.
And those clues help you find better cheese than before.
Speaking of clues, let's revisit the 4 characters Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw, and see how they embody these ideas.
Sniff detects change early. That's curiosity in action.
Scurry moves fast. That's courage and adaptability.
Hem resists, stuck in fear and denial.
And Haw learns, over time, to overcome fear and embrace change.
Which character do you see in yourself right now?
And which character do you want to become?
That's the journey, moving from resistance to curiosity, from fear to action.
And it's never a straight line.
There are setbacks, doubts, moments when Hem rears up.
But awareness and persistence keep you moving forward.
Let's explore ways to build that persistence.
One is creating routines that support change, like daily reflection or goal setting.
Another is celebrating progress, no matter how small.
And surrounding yourself with people who encourage growth.
Community again, the safety net in the maze.
Yes, and mentors who found their cheese can guide you.
All these elements together create a mindset ready for any maze life throws.
So, where do you want to start?
Remember, the smallest step toward new cheese beats, standing still.
Every step shapes who you become.
And who you become is the true prize in this maze. You know, Maya, one thing that really helps me stay motivated is focusing on progress rather than perfection. Sometimes we get so caught up trying to get it exactly right that we forget every little step counts.
Yeah, that's a big trap. Waiting for the perfect moment or perfect plan can paralyze us. Better to take imperfect action than no action at all.
Exactly. And often, those imperfect actions teach us more than any carefully laid plan ever could.
It's like learning to swim by jumping in the water, not reading a book about swimming.
Totally. The maze doesn't wait for us to be ready, it just keeps shifting.
That's why agility is so important. Being able to pivot, adapt, and try again fast.
And staying curious the whole time, asking, what's working? What's not?
Also, letting go of the need for control. That's huge.
Oh, absolutely. Trying to control everything is exhausting and impossible in a changing world.
Acceptance of uncertainty brings peace and opens us up to new possibilities.
It's almost like surrendering to the maze itself, trusting the journey even when you don't see the destination.
And that trust builds confidence over time.
Yes, confidence that no matter what happens, you can handle it.
Which reminds me of something I read once. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the decision that something else is more important than fear.
That's so true. It's choosing purpose over paralysis.
And purpose comes from clarity about what truly matters to you.
So, how do we find that clarity in the middle of the maze?
Great question. I think it starts with self-reflection, asking, what do I really want? What gives me meaning?
And being honest, even if the answers are uncomfortable.
Yes, because sometimes our cheese is what others expect from us, not what we truly desire.
Exactly. The maze can be full of distractions and expectations.
So, tuning into your own values is essential.
Maybe even redefining what success means for you.
Right. Success might not always be climbing a ladder. Sometimes it's creating your own path.
And that path might be winding and uncertain, but authentic.
Authenticity fuels resilience because you're motivated by what truly matters.
And when obstacles come, they feel less like barriers and more like challenges to overcome.
Exactly. Challenges become part of the adventure, not the end of the road.
That mindset shift is huge. It changes everything.
Speaking of mindset, have you noticed how our inner dialogue shapes our experience?
Absolutely. Negative self-talk can trap us in him's mindset, fearful and stuck.
Whereas positive, encouraging self-talk can help us be more like Ha, brave and adaptive.
The tricky part is catching those negative thoughts early.
That's where mindfulness helps again observing thoughts without judgment.
And then, consciously choosing to reframe or challenge them.
For example, changing "I can't do this" to "I'm learning how to do this."
Or, "This is too hard" to "This is an opportunity to grow."
These subtle shifts in language create big changes in how we feel and act.
Our words are powerful, especially the ones we say to ourselves.
That's why practicing kindness toward ourselves is so important.
Treating yourself like a friend who's trying their best.
And forgiving yourself for setbacks or mistakes.
Because everyone makes mistakes in the maze. It's part of being human.
The key is to keep moving forward, not to stay stuck in self-criticism.
And to celebrate your progress, even if it feels small.
Every step forward builds momentum and belief.
You know, sometimes I think of the maze as a dance.
A dance?
Yeah, a dance where you have to feel the rhythm, adapt your moves. Sometimes lead, sometimes follow.
I like that. It's not about fighting the maze, but moving with it.
Exactly. And each twist and turn is part of the choreography.
That perspective makes the maze less daunting.
And more beautiful in its complexity.
You know, thinking of life as a dance really changes how you approach challenges. Instead of resisting, you learn to move with the rhythm, even when it's unpredictable.
And just like in dancing, sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Sometimes you step back to gather yourself, sometimes you leap forward with confidence.
Exactly. And every dancer knows that missteps happen, it's part of learning the moves.
So, instead of beating yourself up over mistakes, you treat them as practice.
Practice that makes you stronger and more graceful in navigating the maze.
I love that. It reminds me that perfection isn't the goal, progress is.
And sometimes progress means pausing to catch your breath.
Which is just as important as moving fast.
Right. Balance is key between action and rest, courage and caution.
Speaking of balance, how do you personally find it when the maze feels overwhelming?
Great question. For me, it's about carving out moments of stillness, meditation, journaling, even a short walk, anything that helps me reconnect with my center.
That makes sense. When the world feels chaotic, grounding yourself helps to see clearly.
And it reduces the noise in your mind, so fear and doubt don't drown out your inner wisdom.
Inner wisdom. That's a powerful phrase. It's like having your own compass in the maze.
Yes, and sometimes that compass points to unexpected directions.
Which can be scary, but also exciting.
Exactly. The unknown can be a source of creativity and growth.
So, embracing uncertainty isn't just about survival, it's about opening doors to new possibilities.
It's a mindset shift from, "What if I fail?" to, "What if this leads me somewhere amazing?"
That "what if" question is a game changer.
It's like turning fear into curiosity.
And curiosity fuels exploration.
Which keeps us moving deeper into the maze, toward new cheese.
Speaking of new cheese, have you ever experienced a moment when something unexpected turned out better than you imagined?
Absolutely. I remember losing a job a few years back, terrifying at first, but it pushed me to start this work, this journey of helping people navigate change.
That's a perfect example of the maze leading you to new paths.
Sometimes, the maze closes one door but opens another, if you're willing to walk through it.
And sometimes that door is hidden behind walls of fear and doubt.
Which brings us back to the importance of courage.
Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward anyway.
And courage grows with each step you take, even the smallest ones.
So, what's your next small step?
Maybe it's reaching out to someone for support.
Or trying something new, even if it feels uncomfortable.
Or simply taking a moment to breathe and reset.
All of those are powerful steps toward new cheese.
Remember, the maze isn't a race, it's your journey.
And every step shapes your story.
You know, Maya, sometimes I think we get so focused on the cheese, the goal, the success that we forget to appreciate the journey itself.
Totally. It's like being so fixated on the destination that you miss the lessons and moments along the way.
Exactly. The maze teaches us resilience, creativity, patience, and self-awareness.
And those skills serve us long after we find that cheese.
It's almost like the maze is more valuable than the cheese itself.
I love that. The process shapes us into the people we're meant to become.
And sometimes, that growth surprises us.
Yeah, like discovering strengths you didn't know you had.
Or passions that awaken when old paths close.
And those discoveries can lead to new, unexpected cheese.
Exactly. So, how do we stay open to those surprises?
By staying present and curious, even when it's uncomfortable.
And by trusting ourselves to handle whatever comes next.
That trust is built through experience by moving forward despite fear.
And sometimes by leaning on others when the maze gets confusing.
Support networks. Again, they're like our map and compass combined. They help us see possibilities we might miss on our own.
And remind us we're not alone in this journey.
Speaking of which, how do you suggest someone start building that kind of support?
Start small. Reach out to friends or family who encourage you.
Join groups or communities that align with your goals or interests.
Even online communities can be powerful sources of connection.
And don't hesitate to ask for help or advice when you need it.
Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness.
It creates deeper bonds and builds resilience.
So, whether you're feeling stuck like Hem or ready to move like Haw, remember the maze is navigable, especially with good company.
And with patience, persistence, and curiosity.
Those qualities light the way through any maze.
Setbacks, they're inevitable, right? No matter how prepared or motivated we are, the maze will throw obstacles our way.
Absolutely. But setbacks don't have to mean failure. They can be powerful learning if we approach them the right way.
One strategy I find useful is reframing setbacks as feedback. Instead of, I messed up, thinking, what can this teach me?
Yes, that shift in mindset changes the entire experience. It turns frustration into curiosity.
And when you view setbacks as temporary detours rather than dead ends, you stay motivated.
Another approach is practicing self-compassion during tough times.
Right, cutting yourself some slack instead of harsh self-criticism.
Because beating yourself up only drains energy and slows progress.
Exactly. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend.
Also, setting realistic expectations helps. Sometimes we aim too high too fast and then feel crushed when things don't go perfectly.
Breaking big goals into manageable steps builds momentum and keeps disappointment at bay.
And celebrating small wins along the way fuels motivation.
Have you ever noticed how even tiny progress can boost confidence?
Definitely. It creates a positive cycle. Progress encourages more progress.
Another important strategy is learning to ask for help.
Which ties back to building that support network.
Exactly. Sometimes a fresh perspective can illuminate solutions we missed.
Or simply sharing struggles can lighten the emotional load.
And that emotional relief helps us recharge and refocus.
I also recommend keeping a journal to track setbacks and lessons learned.
Writing helps process emotions and clarifies what to do next.
It's like mapping the maze from your experiences.
And over time, that map becomes invaluable.
One last strategy: practicing patience.
Yes, recognizing that meaningful change often takes time.
Rushing can lead to frustration and burnout.
Whereas steady, consistent effort brings lasting results.
So, when setbacks happen, remind yourself that progress is a marathon, not a sprint.
And every challenge is just part of the path.
You know, Raphael, celebrating success, even the small stuff, is often overlooked, but it's so important for keeping momentum.
Absolutely. When we acknowledge our wins, it reinforces positive behavior and builds confidence.
And it doesn't have to be big sometimes. Just taking a moment to say, I did that, is enough.
Or treating yourself to something simple, like a favorite snack or a break, doing something you enjoy.
Celebrations can also be shared. Telling a friend or family member about your progress deepens connection.
And reminds you that you're not alone in the journey.
It's like giving yourself permission to feel proud and motivated to keep going.
Plus, celebrating success helps to balance out those inevitable setbacks.
Right, it keeps the focus on growth rather than just obstacles.
And builds resilience, making it easier to bounce back from challenges.
Have you ever noticed how motivation feels stronger after a little celebration?
For sure. It's like refueling your tank.
Exactly, and that fuel powers you through the tougher parts of the maze.
Another way to celebrate is by reflecting on how far you've come.
Sometimes when we're deep in the maze, we forget the progress we've made.
Looking back can reveal growth that isn't always obvious in the moment.
It reminds us that the maze is navigable and we are capable.
And that builds hope, which is essential for sustained effort.
Hope is like a lighthouse guiding us through the darkest parts of the maze.
So, how do you personally like to celebrate your wins?
I love journaling about them. It makes them feel real and lasting.
That's great. I tend to share my progress with close friends, accountability, and celebration combined.
Both powerful ways to stay motivated and connected.
And speaking of connection, it's important to remember that the maze isn't just a solo journey.
Definitely. Having others to celebrate with amplifies the joy.
And helps us stay committed when the path gets tough.
So, whether you're celebrating a big win or a tiny step, honor it.
Because every victory, no matter the size, moves you closer to your new cheese.
You know, Raphael, I've been thinking about how the maze can sometimes feel isolating. Like you're the only one lost in a confusing labyrinth.
Yeah, that feeling of being alone can really intensify fear and doubt.
But the truth is, everyone's in their own maze, facing their own challenges.
Exactly. And that shared experience can be a source of comfort if we allow it.
Which brings up the importance of vulnerability. Opening up about struggles can create connection.
But vulnerability isn't easy. It takes courage to be honest about where you're stuck.
True, but it also frees us from carrying the burden alone.
And often invites help, support, or new perspectives.
That support can be the difference between giving up and pushing forward.
So, cultivating safe spaces, whether with friends, mentors, or communities, is crucial.
And those spaces encourage authenticity, which builds trust.
Trust that you're not alone, and that others have faced similar mazes and found new cheese.
That shared wisdom is invaluable.
It reminds me of the phrase, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Perfect for navigating life's maze.
Absolutely. And sometimes, the maze teaches us not only to find new cheese, but to build community along the way.
That community becomes part of the new cheese, the new source of nourishment and support.
Exactly. It transforms the maze from a place of isolation to one of connection.
So, what's one way someone listening could start building their community today?
Maybe by reaching out to someone they trust and sharing one challenge they're facing.
Or joining a group online or offline focused on growth or their interests.
Even attending a local workshop or meetup can open doors.
Taking that first step is often the hardest, but it can be so rewarding.
And it sets the stage for new opportunities and relationships.
Which can lead to unexpected new cheese.
There's something powerful that happens when you realize you're not alone in the maze. The walls don't feel as close anymore.
Yes, isolation makes fear louder, connection quiets it.
And connection doesn't mean someone walks the maze for you. It means someone reminds you that you can walk it.
Exactly. Sometimes all we need is to hear, "I've been there too."
Or, "You're not crazy for feeling this way."
That validation alone can give people the strength to keep moving.
Which brings us to another truth about change. Emotional energy matters just as much as strategy.
You can have the best plan in the world, but if you're exhausted, discouraged, or burned out, it's hard to act.
That's why self-care isn't a luxury in the maze, it's a survival skill.
Rest, reflection, movement, silence, these recharge us so we can think clearly again.
And when we're clear, we make better decisions.
Better decisions lead to better paths.
And better paths lead us closer to new cheese. Yes, we live in a world of instant results, but real transformation is slow.
And slow progress can feel like no progress if you're not paying attention.
That's why patience is such a powerful skill in the maze.
Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It means trusting the process while continuing to move.
Exactly. One step today, another tomorrow.
And over time, those steps add up.
This is where many people give up right before momentum kicks in.
Because the hardest part of the maze is often the middle.
The beginning has motivation. The end has reward. The middle has uncertainty.
And uncertainty tests commitment.
But those who keep walking through the middle are the ones who change their lives.
They're the ones who discover strengths they didn't know they had.
They become more adaptable, more resilient, more confident.
Not because the maze got easier, but because they got stronger.
That's the real transformation.
And that transformation stays with you, even after you find the cheese.
Because the maze doesn't disappear.
Life will always move the cheese again.
But once you've learned how to move, you stop being afraid of change.
You start expecting it.
And even welcoming it.
Because deep down, you trust yourself to handle whatever comes next.
That trust is freedom.
Freedom to explore.
Freedom to grow.
Freedom to keep walking forward even when you don't see the whole maze yet.
You know what's interesting? Once people stop fearing change, they start seeing patterns.
Patterns?
Yeah. They realize change doesn't come randomly. It often arrives after growth has stalled.
That's true. The cheese usually moves when we've stopped paying attention.
When comfort turns into routine.
And routine quietly turns into stagnation.
That's why awareness is so important in the maze.
Awareness of what's working and what isn't.
Of what energizes you and what drains you.
Most people ignore those signals until the cheese is gone.
But those who listen early don't panic when change comes.
They adjust.
They prepare.
And preparation doesn't mean knowing exactly what will happen.
It means strengthening yourself so you can handle whatever happens.
Emotionally, mentally, and practically.
Which brings us to responsibility.
That's a big word and sometimes a scary one.
Because responsibility means admitting that waiting won't save you.
And that no one is coming to move for you.
That realization can feel heavy.
But it's also empowering.
Because once you accept responsibility, you regain control.
Control over your choices.
Control over your direction.
Even if you can't control the maze itself.
Exactly. You don't control the walls, but you control your steps.
And each step is a decision.
To stay or move.
To learn or deny.
To adapt or resist.
Resistance feels safe in the short term.
But it costs more in the long term.
It drains energy, confidence, and time.
While movement, even slow movement, creates hope.
Hope is fuel in the maze.
Without it, people freeze.
With it, they explore.
And exploration changes everything.
Because exploration turns fear into information.
Information into strategy.
And strategy into progress.
This is how people stop being victims of change.
And start becoming navigators.
Navigators don't need certainty.
They need courage and direction.
And direction often comes from values.
Knowing what matters most to you.
When your values are clear, decisions become easier.
Even hard decisions.
Because you're no longer chasing cheese blindly.
You're choosing cheese that aligns with who you are.
And that kind of cheese is worth the walk.
Even when the path is long.
Something else shifts. When people start choosing their cheese intentionally, they stop comparing their maze to others.
Yes, comparison creates unnecessary pressure.
And pressure clouds judgment.
Everyone's maze is different. Different walls, different turns, different timing.
Comparing paths only leads to frustration.
And often to chasing cheese that was never meant for you.
Which leads to burnout.
Or regret.
When you stay focused on your own path, movement feels lighter.
Because you're walking with purpose, not pressure.
Purpose simplifies decisions.
It also strengthens commitment when things get hard.
Hard moments are inevitable.
But they don't have to break you.
In fact, they often shape you.
Some of the most confident people you see today were once completely lost.
They just kept walking when others stopped.
They allowed discomfort to teach them.
And eventually, they learned to trust the process.
Trust doesn't mean blind faith.
It means believing in your ability to adapt.
To learn.
To recover.
That belief changes how you experience the maze.
Fear still appears.
But it no longer controls you.
It becomes a signal.
A reminder that growth is happening.
And growth always feels uncomfortable at first.
That discomfort is not danger.
It's expansion.
The maze stretches you before it rewards you.
And those who endure the stretch discover new strength.
Strength they carry into every future maze.
Because this won't be the last time the cheese moves.
But each time you'll move faster.
With less fear.
And more confidence.
You stop asking, why is this happening to me?
And start asking, what is this preparing me for?
That question alone changes everything.
It shifts you from victim to student.
From resistance to readiness.
From fear to forward motion.
And forward motion, even slow, keeps you alive in the maze.
Keeps you learning.
keeps you evolving.
Which is the real purpose of the journey.
There's something important we haven't said yet.
What's that?
That finding new cheese isn't the finish line.
It's a checkpoint.
A moment to pause, breathe, and notice who you've become.
Because the person who finds new cheese is never the same person who lost the old one.
And that's the quiet victory.
Growth that doesn't need applause.
Just awareness.
If you're listening right now and you feel stuck,
Know this, you're not broken.
you're just in transition.
And transitions feel uncomfortable by nature.
But they also carry possibility.
So instead of waiting for fear to disappear,
Take one small step alongside it.
one conversation,
One decision.
one moment of courage.
Because momentum begins with movement.
If today's conversation resonated with you,
Share it with someone who might be standing still in their maze.
sometimes the right words at the right time change a direction.
And if you want to keep walking with us,
Follow, subscribe, and stay connected.
more conversations, more clarity, more growth ahead.
Before we close, Raphael,
Yes?
thank you for this honest journey through the maze.
Thank you, Maya, for the questions, the reflections, and the courage to keep going.
And thank you, listener, for choosing not to stay stuck.
Remember,
When the cheese moves,
you move too.
keep walking.
We'll see you in the maze.